I got a gold ring here. I'm gonna bury it and I'm gonna test it out on each machine. The Simplex, which is 12 kilohertz, the Deus, which is multi-frequency, and the MindLab, which is multi-frequency. And I have my small coils on. These are the coils that I use the most, right? Actually, I use the most, the 11-inch coil on the Simplex the most, just because it can go deep and shallow all at the same time. But I'm gonna test it on a low conductive target, a gold ring, right? I'll just test the ground right over here. All right, I'll throw it down here. It's hitting it. Now it's not. There's nothing there. I'll bury it about 5 inches deep, right? 5 inches deep. Right down there, see? Right there. Bury it just like that. Just however it lays, right? And I'll smack it with the Simplex. I have it in Park 1 mode. I'll go ground balance it here. It's probably gonna be really low because my soil here is kind of moderate. So I'll just have to ground balance it here. 74, that's what it was. 71.2, right there. I'm in field mode actually right now. Spanking it. The numbers are really jumpy, right? And if I lift my coil off the ground, it gets even more jumpier, right? And I get multiple tones. Back away from it, not getting any iron grunts. Now I'll put it in Park 1. My gain is all the way up, right? My gain was all the way up in field. Now I'll go to Park 1. 20s, 40s, it's just jumpy all over the place. Park 2. It's reading up, give me multiple tones in Park 1 and Park 2. So there's actually, I wasn't even all the way up in that mode, that last mode here. It's not hitting it very good in Park 2. It's just beyond the depth, you know, of what the Simplex can do. So I'll crank up the Amphibio here, and I'll show you having a multi-frequency machine is really an essential for getting gold, man. I'll noise cancel it. Now where did it go? Where did I put that target at, man? Right there. Solid 8-9, right? Park 1, just stock programs, right? My iron bias is at 0. I always have it at 0 on here. And that's a multi-frequency. It bangs it really good in multi-frequency. Now I'll go to 4 kilohertz. It probably won't even hit it. Yeah, see? The ring is right there, right on that little string there. Right there. My gain isn't too wild. I can lift my gain up here a little bit. I'll jack it all the way up. 4 kilohertz is not hitting it, right? Because it's such a low frequency. The low frequencies are for higher conductive targets, right? And big, like big iron or, you know, higher conductive targets. This is a low conductive target, so 4 kilohertz is just not going to cut it. You know, it's at 5 inches deep. Now I'll go to 5 kilohertz. Nothing. Just barely a whisper. I'm not getting any stable numbers on it, right? 10 kilohertz. And this is just in Park 1. I just want to kind of match these up. I want to kind of stick them in programs that I use a lot in my videos. 10 kilohertz, just not doing it, right? It's hitting it a little bit. Really jumpy numbers, jumpy tones. I'm having them 50 tone, 15 kilohertz, hitting it a little bit better, right? 12, 11, 13, 10, 2, 4, just jumpy, right? 20 kilohertz, will probably hit a lot better now. More stable numbers, more stable tones. I'm almost getting near where it was at multi-frequency. Now I'll go to 40 kilohertz. Big difference here. Lots more stable, right? 10, 9, and then I'll put it back in multi-frequency and it'll just bang it. It's just solid. This little coil is deadly, man, on small targets and lower conductive targets. This Equinox here is probably the best machine out there for low conductive targets. Par none, right? It surpasses any detector that I've ever used, especially this multi-frequency. You know, it really stabilizes this metal detector when you have it in multi-frequency. I've tried a lot of different tests in the single frequencies in here, and it just seems to be jumpy. You know, you got to pick the right frequency for your right conditions, but just in general, the multi-frequency on this machine, just the low conductive targets just stand right out, and you can pinpoint them very accurately. You see how the Simplex, it was hard to pinpoint that because it's at 12 kilohertz frequency, right? And I'll put it in Park 2 mode here, just for giggles, you know. See, the numbers didn't even change. Now I'll put it in field 1. Getting a lot of different tones there, right? 3 different tones, 8, 9, and 10. And with the field mode, I've noticed that you don't really get a lot of solid tones. It's hard to lock onto that tone in field mode. And it is, you know, field mode is designed to go deeper, but that's a shallow target. And I just noticed that with the Equinox, you just get a lot of jumpy numbers with it in field mode. With the field modes, I prefer the park modes. The recovery is a lot faster, and it goes plenty deep enough for that coil right there. I've been smacking 8-inch deep coins with that 6-inch coil there. Now we'll turn the Deus on, and this might take a minute. And I'll go in just a stock program, right? I'll try basic first, okay? My gain is just normal. I'm probably gonna have to ground balance because the Deus is really susceptible to my soil here. Ah, perfect, man. Look at that. Beautiful. 82, 83. See, I'm not getting any ground noise with the Deus in this mode here. Nothing. Not even a tone, man. See? Not even a tone in basic, right? 83 is ground balance. It's really low. I'll go to GM power. This is the gold program, right? And that's at 14 kilohertz, right? I'll even lift my frequency up here just to show you. The difference in frequencies matters a bunch, man. I'll crank my gain up a little bit. 31 kilohertz. Humongous difference. Now I'll go up even more. I'll go up to 74 kilohertz. And that's the gold program. You know, that's the program number 3, I think. I'll go back here and I'll put it, or two GM power, Gold Master power, and then I'll put it in Deus Fast, which a lot of people use Deus Fast, right? Just a whisper. This Deus is not a really super deep seeking machine in the Deus Fast, but the hot program is just amazing. I haven't tested it out on this target yet, but I'll see what we can do here. And that is at the lower frequency, the Deus Fast. So we'll change the frequency here. That's at 14. This is at 31. Much better. And that's 3-tone, you know. Now I'll go up to 74 kilohertz. Oh, it's up here. That's why I wasn't hitting any other programs. It's up here. I thought it was down here. Okay. Now I'll go back to the mode. And I'll go to pitch. Banging it, just a stock program, 14 kilohertz, right? Now I'll raise the frequency up a little bit here and see how this does. I'm not sure how this is going to perform here. Wow, really smacking it out. Look at how fast I'm swinging. Spanking it out. Now I'll go to 74 kilohertz. It really hit here. It really likes that. Now I'll go to hot program, my favorite program. Okay. G-Max, I'll try G-Max first. Struggling with it. Just a stock program. Just a single tone, right? Now I'll go to deep. I'm just gonna smack it out right here. See, I'm getting a lot of, I'm skipping over that target in a couple spots. See that? If I sweep over it too fast, I'm swinging too fast over it, right? I'm getting some iron grunts on it. And I'll go to deep. I'll go to hot. Yeah, come on, bring it on, baby. Come on, shit. See, I'm learning, right? By testing targets out in the dirt, you learn a lot. And it's a low tone. It's a low tone. It's like a grunt. I found a lot of jewelry with this hot program here near the surface, but not too much jewelry deep. So I'll go to the menu and I'll actually raise that up from 14 kilohertz. I usually don't run at 14 kilohertz. That's the target I would definitely dig out, right? Super solid. Now I'll go to 74. We're gonna really perform very well on. And this is just a stock program, just in different frequencies. And I showed you there how important it is to have multi-frequencies, especially multi-frequencies running simultaneously all at the same time. The Equinox is very stable in that multi-frequency. It just really bangs hard on those lower conductive targets. Like I said, you know, just from this test here, the Equinox performed extremely well. Those lower conductive targets, especially if they're like even deeper, it gets foiled deep, man. That little 6-inch coil there performs very, very well. Par none. It is the top performer in all my metal detectors that I've ever owned. It can smack foil out and pinpoint it just to the nearest inch. My other detectors have struggled with those deeper targets, those deeper lower conductive targets. But once I get the bigger coils on here, you know, things change. You know, that Simplex really hits on that ring really good. I haven't tested the Deus on with the 11-inch coil yet, but I will be getting the 9-inch coil. It's on back order. Unfortunately, you know, I ordered it right before Christmas. The 9-inch coil is on back order from the distributor, and I've just been chomping at the bit to get that coil in, man. I really want, that's the coil that I wanted, that 9-inch HF coil. And but I will be doing some other tests on some other gold here, some odd shaped gold, not a ring. I have a small unicorn I'm going to be testing here in a minute, and because it's, you know, when the shape is different, you know, detectors respond differently. Different detectors and different coils respond differently to those lower conductive targets in the ground. So I'm just going to do one more test here before it gets dark. Well, thank you for watching. Please subscribe.